Okay, made a video before on the '05 Lincoln Aviator, changing the radiator and the thermostat. Um, just to give you an update, if you do it yourself and change your radiator, and when you put your thermostat in, you're going to have to do some steps to get it right. I had to break my old thermostat and to use it so the gasket, the rubber gasket in there would seat right. And you can run it without the thermostat if you have to, but then your engine light comes on running it at a cold temperature, and you don't want to really do that because of a lot of things that can happen with the motor and the exhaust and everything. So best thing to do is, if you have to do that, just get back to it as soon as you can and get it in there. So get your radiator in, get your thermostat in. With your thermostats down here, you have to, basically what I have to do is take the wheel off, go through the wheel well, and you have to, best thing to do is take the lower hose off from it, and you can leave the top one on, because you basically have to pull it out from the top or the bottom. Getting it back in, I had to go through the bottom. So when you do that, you're going to lose your fluid out of the engine block. So drain your radiator. Okay, and when you go get it put back together, go ahead, and I took some tips from the YouTube videos on how to purge. They're pretty useful. I'll just show you what I did, kind of explain a little bit. What you want to do is put fluid in here. After you get it back together, put fluid in here, and then put fluid in your bottom line. Go ahead and hook it back up. Start it up. Make sure you fill this up. Okay, and on your manual, you don't want to put a lot of water in it. So I got the 50-50 mix. You can get the concentrated, and then split it however you want to do it. But, go ahead and fill it up past your mark. Up here, you can fill it up. Because what's going to happen is when you turn it on and it runs and you turn it off, this is going to drop. This is going to suck down into the system. Now, what you're going to want to do is go ahead, when this gets hot, is when this you get a 1/4 inch drive. 1/4 inch drive goes in there, and then when it gets hot, it'll open. So don't try to do it cold. I tried doing it, and I forgot. I wasn't thinking about it, but metal heat, when it heats up, it shrinks. So that's when it's easier to get this off. When it's cold, it won't budge. Mine wouldn't budge. So when it gets hot, it'll, just back it off a little bit until you get air coming out and purge that line air. So I did it a few times. I cranked it up, ran it, and got it to where it was really warm. I turned the heat on full blast, the high temperature, and then when I turn it off, this water level drops, the fluid drops down into the system. And what you're doing is, when I changed it the first time and I couldn't figure it out, it kept running hot. It was the air in the line, and I got frustrated, took it out. I had to get it on the road. So if you take the time and the steps to do it, then you don't have to go through what I had to. So it's going to take a few times, probably. When you turn it off, let it cool down, and then you'll watch it. You'll watch the fluid just drain down into it. Go ahead and fill it back up. I think it took about 3 times. Like I said, when you put it all back together, go ahead and put fluid in here. That will put fluid back in the engine block. Okay, and it'll give you, I guess, less air in the system. I'm not a mechanic, and that's why we all make these videos, right? To help each other. So, put fluid in here. Put fluid in your bottom one. Hook them back up. Crank it up. Run it about 200 RPMs. Heat on. Turn it off. Let it drain. Do it a few times. And also, I would, when this gets hot, go ahead. I think this helped. I did it once. And then I did it again. Then it started to seem, it seemed like it was wanting to overheat, but it never did. So I don't know, doing it twice made an issue of it. I don't know. But eventually, I know this helps because it's letting that air out of that line. So basically, I mean, it's pretty easy. It's just frustrating when you haven't worked on this vehicle before. So I hope it helps you. And thanks for YouTube, because it really helps. And also talk to your people at the parts store as much as you can on anything you do, and of course people you run into on the street, in the auto parts store or something, just like the guy told me. I may have seen a video, I don't know. You watch so much of this stuff, and it's gets frustrating sometimes. But I think that helped a lot, was putting the fluid back in here first, because it put it back in the block. So I hope this helps y'all out. It seems to be doing fine. I have heat. So y'all take care out there.